Hello and welcome to Boomer 11 once again. If you are Argentinian fans like Abel is right now, I think it was not again. I mean, probably the start of the same song over and over again, where Argentina come the World Cup, don't look themselves at all, and what a shocker! I mean, having such an unbeaten run, coming so close to beating the record of Italy, and then crashing out, you would say, to not crashing out yet, but at least crashing in today's match against Saudi Arabia. Potential, what do you say, knockout. A lot more. And now the stakes have become a lot higher for Argentina in the next two match. And upcoming match, Poland and Mexico becomes that much more important. I have with me Abel. Abel, what is the feeling right now as an
Uh,
Argentinian fan? Do you reckon you were hard done, or do you reckon it was a deserving loss?
it was a deserving loss, to be very honest. I can't say we were hard done or we were unlucky in any spot. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy going on in the social media pages as to the offside call of Martinez, where his shoulder was on the onside or not. That's a debate which is going on, but I don't think so. It was a deserving loss for Argentina because they did not really turn up. When it comes to Saudi Arabia, they had that urge a lot more when they wanted to go out there. The tactics deployed by them, they were outclassed in every field throughout the field. Defensive transition, they were outclassed. Even in the attacking phase, they were outclassed. There was a phase where the after 10 minutes, the first shot which Argentina had on target was in the 66th minute. So there was a null phase for almost like 50 odd minutes, and that's really something which cost Argentina. And momentum is a big factor, right? We keep talking about it in all the sports, even in football. Momentum is such a big factor. It happens in phases in football, and Saudi Arabia had the momentum when they went inside for the halftime, because Argentina did look frustrated because three goals being disallowed. It wasn't going to be easy because you knew the pressure was going to be there. You can feel it. Even as a fan, you could feel the momentum shifting on to Saudi Arabia, and they killed the game in the first 10 minutes after the halftime.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. What do you reckon? I mean, I think probably Saudi Arabia was still, not in comparison to Argentina. If you look at all the stats, as we will be getting into, Argentina did look the better team in terms of stats, at least. But one thing that really stood out for me was Saudi Arabia's offensive trap. I mean, not offensive trap, the offline, I mean, the offside
Offside trap.
trap, rather.
Yeah.
And they played it to perfection, isn't it? I know there is a lot of controversy, as you mentioned, but there are also, pundits or who have come out to say that offside should only be considered when the foot is outside the last defender and not any other part of the body. What do you reckon of this
Yeah.
whole argument? At the end of the day, it is football. You don't
I mean,
use your
that rule is
hands as
being
much,
changed now.
and
Now it's any part of the
I
body.
think at least when it
I
comes
think
to your
that rule has gone out.
shoulders, at least when it comes to your shoulders, able,
Yeah.
you reckon that should be changed, because head and foot, you can understand there is some opportunity, there's some threat for the striker, but shoulders, never, there's never really a threat, isn't it?
It's a very debatable topic, but then the fact of the matter is that the rule has changed quite quickly. And if you look at the recent past, everything, if you've seen, it has been all about any part of the body ahead of the final defender, and hence you call that an offside. And now with the technology in place, uh,
Yeah.
so it's very tough to get away with it. It's very tough to get away with. If there was no technology which was in place, maybe it was just the VAR, the decision would have got Argentinians' way. At the moment, it would have been with Argentina. But it's a different thing to talk about. I think that should not do anything with what Saudi Arabia has done. Saudi Arabia outclassed Argentina. As I already mentioned, they were top notch in terms of their offside traps. They came in with, and I have to give credits to
I mean,
Hanu.
you have to look at the technology that helped Argentina to get the penalty as well, which probably wouldn't have gone Argentina's way as well. It was only the cameras
Yes,
that
exactly.
caught it.
So exactly. So that's a debate which is a two-way debate, and the
Yeah.
whatever said, the tactical masterclass by Hervé Renard was absolutely top notch. You know about him; he's coming with a lot of reputation. He has taken Ivory Coast to African Nations Cup. He has made Zambia win the African Nations Cup, and now he has taken over Saudi Arabia as well. So it's a very underrated coach, but a uh, tactical spearhead in terms of this planning, and you saw it in the way how they were planning. They were pretty clear they were going to press Argentina. They were going to take the ball, have the attacking transition pretty quickly, press the defenders a lot more, which Argentina did not really expect. Argentina thought they could be laid back after the first half, take their chances, play it from back, but Saudi Arabia was top notch. They put pressure on Romero. Romero did fumble. And if you talk about the way in which the way in which they were keeping a high line of defense, which is very impressive. I don't think a lot of teams in the world will ever keep a high line of defense against an Argentinian team, especially when they're
Yeah,
lower ranked compared to Argentina. And that kind of confidence to go in with a game and throughout the course of the game. I'm not talking about uh, even when they had the 2 goal lead, they were keeping a high line of defense. They wanted to execute that plan, and that's where I thought
yeah,
they were exemplary in terms of their planning. You have to give it to them for what they did. The planning was top notch. They did. I think we already did speak about this in the preview as well. Saudi Arabia did suspend their league last month so that their
mm,
players could start training. And remember, last 1 year they've been playing with various other teams across the globe so that they could get their exposure as well. So they did put in that kind of work rate today. And talk about the defensive acumen, the kind of defensive organization they had today, especially the second half, was a wonderful side. They gave Argentina no space, uh, which I think is something which we will talk about going ahead in the live. How Argentina should be able to break those lines. What are the options Argentina can possibly deploy, and what are the mistakes they did today as well.
let's look at some of the stats, Sibyl. Let's start with the possession straight away. Um, as you can see right here, I mean, possession stats. If you look at the possession stats, 31 percentage for Saudi Arabia, 69 percentage for Argentina, and if
The,
also the passing accuracy again 67 percentage only for Saudi Arabia, but 85 percentage for Argentina. But if you look at especially that second goal, what a stunner that was, because two shots that went in were the two shots that were on target, and Argentina on the other hand had nine shots, six shots on target, nine off target, 15 shots in total. How good was the goalkeeping of Saudi Arabia, and
I mean,
especially talking to the two goals as well.
it was just as I keep saying, there are no words to describe this performance by Saudi Arabia, because it was performance for the ages. It was possibly the greatest ever show in a footballing field. Possibly this is going to remain in history forever and ever. To
Yeah.
defeat a team who has been unbeaten for the last 2 years, to defeat them in a World Cup, and the way in which they defeated by outclassing them, stats don't tell you a story, man. I keep telling that often. I think stats do misguide you, especially in games like this. It's important to look beyond stats. It's
I
important to
mean,
look at the
today's game
pace.
did prove, isn't it, Abel, that football is all about those magical moments. Both the
Yes,
goals for Saudi Arabia were those magical moments. Some of the
absolutely.
saves made by and some of the defensive acumen shown by Saudi Arabia were magical moments. While Argentina, you would say, thoroughly control the game. In any other sport, if you look at probably a sport like cricket, you would expect these kind of stats to make sure guarantee an Argentinian win. But football is always about seizing the moment, and Argentina created chances, yes, but they never really took hold of the game in terms of the kind of domination that Argentina had. But Saudi Arabia, even though they were not dominating the game, they seized the chances they got, and if they did not get chances, they created chances. Didn't isn't so? That's where you would appreciate their determination and their character, right?
I mean, well and truly, you have to say that that is where their character was tested. And remember, they were 1-0 down, 1-0 down against a strong Argentinian team is never easy. And for them to come out of that hole and to get that 2 goal lead, let's talk about both the goals. I mean, you did mention about both the goals, and I'm going to bring that up on the screen right now, especially the areas from which those goals scored, especially it was until 55 minutes. That's what I have. Those are the two shots they took on target, and at that point, the XG was just 0.1. And look at both the goals, especially that first goal where they went left drifted on the left hand side, dragged Romero, created that width and scored that. That was just brilliant. Uh,
Yeah.
Time and time again, Argentina being exposed, especially when they are dragged on the flanks, or when an opposite team tries to give them a slight bit of width, try to play with width. It was shown once again. And the second goal was a clear example how the Saudi Arabian defense were trying to no, not Saudi Arabia, Argentine defense were put under pressure by Saudi Arabia, especially you have to give credit to Al Davras. I think that's his pronunciation. I'm not pretty sure about his pronunciation, but he's pronounced as Al Davarasi, and that was that was excellent, to be honest. Especially that second goal by Al Davasari. That's how his pronunciation is. Sorry. And the first goal, Al Shairi. That goal where he made that run to take Cristian Romero to the left hand side and to score from there, from that angle. You could have said, Cristian Romero could have done better, and exactly, he could have done better in both the occasion. Both the goals, I pretty much felt like on the right hand side. Cristiano Romero was caught napping. Maybe something which Argentina will have to look into, because they have a Lisandro Martinez on the bench, and Cristiano Romero did not really look like he was going to put in any intensity at all. He was very laid back on the ball today. He was not showing any intensity. He was not looking to progress the ball many occasions as well. Something which I was very surprised as well with Cristiano Romero. It's not the kind of Cristiano Romero you see when he's on a peak form or when he's on top of his game. Uh, so these are questions which Argentina will have to answer or ponder upon tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Abel, what about Al Awais, the goalkeeper for Saudi Arabia? He made some excellent saves towards the end half. I mean, after the 2-0, after they came back so strongly. If not for him, you could have still reckoned it could have been 3-2 because he made some really good saves towards the end. Because Argentina, after they went one goal down, after it became 2-1, they started to that's when we saw Argentina take the game seriously. As you say in FIFA, when you're playing FIFA, sometimes you're relaxing and then suddenly you sit up straight. That's what you saw with
Yeah.
Argentina becoming a little bit more serious. But always made sure that Saudi Arabia sealed the game.
Yeah, he was like coming up against an overpowered goalkeeper who's rated more than 93 from Team of the Week. And
Yeah, yeah.
he saved everything which he shot, even with the shot power, even with the best power shot. Also, he could save it. So that was the kind of game he had between the sticks. He was top notch today, especially if you have to talk about the way in which he led. He was giving commands. He was out there, telling his defenders to stay organized, and the kind of reflexes he showed today. One of the clearances which he had was on the line. That was fascinating to watch. I thought they showed a lot of heart. That's one of the
Yeah.
major reasons which helped them to win this. It was just about heart. It was just about them sticking to their plans. Often we criticize, is there a plan B, but at the same time it's so important to execute that plan A, which I thought they did execute their plan A, and when they switched to plan B, they were top notch there. Plan B was about defending once they get the lead. There they did not even make a single mistake. In the second half, Argentina could barely take the ball into the final third and especially into the box. They had opportunities. They had crosses coming in where they had opportunities to shoot, but that's where Al always stepped up and had some magical moments between the sticks there. All in all, a complete performance. You saw it. There was not going to be any way in which Argentina could possibly create a chance or break the line. Something which Argentina will have to find a way. I know they are missing Lo Celso, who's a master in doing this. He's good at breaking the lines. He's good at making those decoy runs. He's good at getting in behind, giving that support to Lautaro Martinez and Lionel Messi, which was missing. So I thought they could have possibly gone with Alexis McAllister, who is pretty much a similar profile player, who's a player who's more attacking, who can get in behind, who is much more comfortable. They went with the Papu Gomez, understandably, because he has had enough minutes under Lionel Scaloni. He's a preferred option, but is he the right man to save you in these kind of situations? I highly doubt that.
I mean, also talk me through the formation that they had today, right? It was not the formation that we had predicted. It was 4-4-2, and
Yeah.
with Messi and and Martinez up ahead. Angel Di Maria and Papu Gomez on the flanks. Talk me through that. I mean, do you reckon that also led that was kind of a error from Scaloni, or do you reckon it was just one-off game and maybe the next time it'll work?
I thought they went with the 4-2-3-1. That was the initial formation. Then they switched to a 4-4-2 in attacking phases. Uh, I was to be honest, the moment I saw the formation, I was not very happy about it, because Argentina is so used to playing in that 4-3-3 formation over the last 2 years. Whatever you've done well has been by playing the 4-3-3 formation and formation of a diamond, especially in attacking phases. Today, their organization, especially in defense, was just awful. They were losing shape time and time again. They were losing shape, even attacking progression. There, Papu Gomez couldn't really give them the width. Even Tagliafico was well covered by the Saudi Arabian right back, which made sure that they could get that width to whipping the balls to Lautaro Martinez. Whatever they could do was maybe through the right hand region, pass it to Di Maria, make him to cut inside, hoping for him to create the chance and break the lines and put a through ball in. That was something which they were trying time and time again. And remember, uh, Messi did create a couple of chances in the first half. That was where the offside trap came into effect of the Saudi Arabian team.
Yeah.
I thought offside trap was beautifully set by them. They knew that they were going to break the lines by using Messi and Lautaro Martinez link up play. From there, for Messi to drop it and to create those chances, I possibly thought that was a plan well executed, because if you're watching Argentina team, you know that Argentina have been very good at doing that, breaking the lines passes, especially when Lo Celso was there. Even with Leo Messi, he drops it and breaks the lines with those through balls, which I thought was well prevented. Lautaro did miss a couple of runs, and he missed it by a millimeter in the second time around when he scored that, and ultimately
Yeah.
that did cost them the game.
All right. The other match, Poland versus Mexico, is just about to begin. Abel, I reckon we have the fantasy picks for them. So let's
Yeah.
talk about it very quickly because I think we have covered most of the all the facets when it comes to Argentina and Saudi Arabia game.
Mm.
Also, a quick update. I mean, we did have Wales versus USA yesterday, where USA began the first half with a goal by Timothy Villa, which was cancelled out by a penalty by Gareth Bale, and then after that you had. And then after that you had right just a few minutes before you had Denmark versus Tunisia, which ended in a draw. A very close call again. We are being brought into picture where potential handball from Tunisian defender, but it was again it was considered to be accurate, the referee's call, and the match ended nil. But let's talk about this very quickly. Abel, Mexico versus Poland, two teams which have always excited football. World Cup fans, but this time around they aren't coming with the best of form, isn't it? But talk me through this lineup as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about Mexico, they've not been in best of forms, and also Poland, they've not really turned up in big occasions or big tournaments. So this is an opportunity for them. They've gone with a 3-4-3 formation with three defenders, four midfielders, and they've also gone with three attackers as well. Talking about Raul Jimenez, starts for Mexico. He's an important player in this team. Ruben Lewandowski, I don't think you can start any fantasy team without having him in the team, and also gone with Hector Moreno. He's been pretty impressive this season, and also Edson Alvarez and also Peter Zelinski. Edson Alvarez have been top notch with Benfica, and for talking about Peter Zelinski, what a season he's been having with Napoli this time around. So they were picking some players who are in form carrying into this game. I think you can quickly make your 11 for this. It's a well-rounded 11 when you talk about the players who are in form, and Ochoa is a sure starter in all the World Cup games, because he's
A
someone
World Cup
who
superstar
plays
really
4 years to 4 years. He goes hiding for the next 3 years. He turns up all of a sudden in a
yeah.
World Cup, and I'm expecting him to put in a show once again tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the game has just begun. We have already half a minute into the game with Mexico right now. Kicking off the game. But thank you so much, people, for joining us. We hope Argentina does make a comeback and you get to wear the jersey for quite some time. And
Doesn't
because
matter.
it's
I'll have
gonna
the
be a
jersey regardless of Argentina losing or not. I'll still wear it.
yeah. Why not? Yeah. At least
Yeah.
you can be the one Argentinian presence throughout the World Cup. But it's gonna be a
Yeah,
tough task for them.
I really,
Making a comeback.
my heartfelt, and it's not my heartfelt condolences, but the fact is that I'm very sorry for what's happening in Kerala right now, especially the northern side of Kerala with the fan rage, and a lot of people have been critically hurt, especially between Brazilian and Argentinian fans, which I think is awful. Uh, Wese though I understand that your team, your country is not playing, you're supporting a country like Argentina, but come on, man, their own countrymen do not have this. I really don't understand. You'll have to go out of their way to go attack and hit people by what's been happening. It's just shocking scenes which has been coming out of Kerala. I know the passion for football is there, but doesn't mean that you go out there and show
Yeah.
rage. It just sends out a wrong message. The football is not about that. Especially this World Cup is all about respect and showing love. And I hope at least you follow that, because I'm pretty sure it's not the right way to support your team or don the badge.
Absolutely. Our hearts do go out to people who have been injured in such incidences, and we hope, at the end of the day, football is a beautiful game, and you have to. By doing such things, not only hurt, would you say, the sanctity of football, but you also, it's just not sportsman-like. And as fans of any team, there are ups and downs for your teams, and it happens to all sides. But
For Argentinian
uh,
fans, let me just give you a positive note. Spain did lose their
yeah,
first match in
Spain.
2010 before they went on to win the World Cup. Argentina did lose in 1990 before they went on to play the World Cup final. They lost to Cameroon at that point of time in their opening match, which was an upset in that World Cup. Switzerland, that Switzerland defeating a strong Spanish team was an upset. So funny things do happen in World Cups. And if I have to give you a cricketing thing, remember Pakistan didn't lose to Zimbabwe before playing the World Cup final. So these things
Yeah.
keep happening time and time again. So have a good time, all of you. I think just it's just one of those things. Take it up. I think Argentina will know better what to do, and it's always important to get that one loss off the way first up. You don't want to be, and it's also important to introspect and look at it because you had an unbeaten run for 2 years, barely have looked into your weakness. So it's the best time to look at your weakness and peak at the right time. It's good in one way that Hudu of the whatever the pressure was there, unbeaten record, breaking Italy's record, that's now off the window. Now you have to play good football. You have to play 6 games. You have to win all 6 games to win the World Cup from here on. That's it. The target is set
Yeah.
out pretty clear.
Also, I mean, today's match is going to be very important because Argentina would hope that one of these teams, there is a result for one of these teams. It's not a draw because in that sense, that they can at least have one team, either Mexico or Poland, because two teams who are capable of
I
topping the
think
group now that
Argentina will be
Argentina is
hoping
winning
for
this one.
a one-all draw in all sense because then table still stays evenly balanced. Then Argentina gets one win next time around. It just goes out of the, it helps Argentina to really progress further up.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, fair enough. Let's see how things go then from on in this group, and exciting 90 minutes coming up ahead with the Mexico. I mean, Mexico and Poland, and obviously, if you are in India post midnight, or else if you are elsewhere later tonight, we are gonna have France face off against Australia, and that is going to be an exciting match as well.
Yeah,
Defending
it's been a day
champions,
of upsets, and I hope
injury
that's not an
concerns,
upset coming France way
and a team
because it's
which is
been a day
coming
where
with, yeah. I mean, go ahead, go ahead.
because remember Tunisia was not rated over Denmark, Argentina was Saudi Arabia was not rated over Argentina. I know it's the next day in India, but it's the same day in Qatar. So it's been that kind of a day today. And I don't know what is awaiting. If Australia gets a result of France drops points there, it's a cursed day, or it's a beautiful day for football and
And
cursed day
also,
for all these
remember,
guys.
France is also going to be playing against that World Cup defending champions curse, where last three teams, Spain, I think it was started with Italy, right? Italy, Spain,
Yeah.
and Germany have been eliminated in the first round itself. France are coming into this game with a lot of injury. They are missing a striker, and Didier Deschamps, by the way, update has decided not to name any replacement. So that means Anthony Martial will stay wherever he is. He's not coming to Qatar unless he's booked tickets. But
Yeah.
that is the update we're getting, and it is interesting though. But thank you so much, Abel, for joining us. Before I leave you guys, remember Boom 11 is a risk-free fantasy experience, and you can download it on Apple App Store and Google Play Store as well. And we hope you take advantage of this World Cup, and you never know, these kind of upsets can be a reward for you, even if it is not a reward for Messi and company. But thank you so much, guys, for
Yeah.
joining us, and we will be back tomorrow or later tonight. So thank you so much, guys,
Absolutely.
once again. Yeah.
Have a good time, all of you. Bye bye.